How's it going, everyone? This is Maximilian, and you're watching episode 33 of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, The Online Warrior. What's up, folks? Welcome back to Ultimate Marvel 3 The Online Warrior, a collection of online ranked games provided with a little bit of commentary and a little bit of post-match insight about what won the fight or what lost the fight afterwards. If you guys didn't catch last week's episode, we had a pretty interesting topic talking about the West Coast versus the East Coast and the huge rivalry that comes with the Versus series of fighting games. However, during the period of the recording of this episode, the latest CEO tournament, which is being hosted by Jabali over in Florida, is taking place right now or just ended pretty recently. Now, what's interesting about this is that this tournament is featuring probably the most or the biggest collection of heavy hitters available for Ultimate Marvel 3 and is going to be quite a spectacle. So don't worry, this informational episode isn't going to be about that because that hasn't happened yet as of the recording of this one, but we'll get into that fairly soon as the results are posted. But until that next episode, let's get into some of these online ranked games. So things were going fairly well at the start of this match. However, there was a cool TAC situation where I was able to get an M&M combo with Doom, but it ended with Strider on the ground, and there wasn't much Strider can do at the end of the combo due to the huge amount of hit stun scaling. Doom gets a box jump on Ryu, and this should be the end of Captain Karate Man. Now here's the mix-up coming in on this side. Cross under Hawkeye, and let's see if I can follow this up. This should be the end of Hawkeye if I can get all the hits in here. And wow, just barely on the S-foot dive, he doesn't make it. Wonder if I'm blocking, and yes I am, and barely missed the pickup right afterwards. So now I'm going to rely on Strider to hopefully get Hawkeye out of the sky, and there we go. Best friends forever, doing work forever. Now we're going up against Captain America, but he scoops up Doom right early and goes straight into his super, which takes off a good 50% off Doom. I just realized he already popped X Factor earlier on something, and I totally jack up an X Factor combo right in the middle. It's kind of difficult online, especially when you have a combo like Doom's mid-screen like relaunch, because when you're in X Factor you have to delay the beginning part of it. Throw out Finger Laser so I can bring in Strider Ouroboros for the remaining time, and this should just about do it against Captain America. Yeah, that takes it. Now, right at the start of this match, if you didn't catch it, Ryu threw out a super without, I think, Tiger Ning. He didn't jump up to throw out the super, and he had to X-Factor to cover himself. He felt that X-Factoring saving Ryu was the best method in this situation, but it ended up not being, and he actually blew X-Factor, and then by the end of the match, he did not have Captain America to back things up with that extra damage. This next match, once again, is going to be using my Iron Man team, going up against, I'm not too sure if this was the same guy, but it's Ryu, Chris, and Captain America. Ryu starting off by throwing some energy at Iron Man. Ooh, Captain America comes in, stops the approach, but I think I should just be playing the same game right here, playing a bit of a distance keep away, because I think Iron Man can do a little bit better than Ryu, but staying at that mid-screen distance, trying to get Strider to poke out, but I cancel the flight so Ryu cannot punish. Now, this is an interesting situation. With Ryu not having full meter, I'm waiting for something like that to happen, waiting for a hidden missile to come in and confirm for me. And now with this in the corner and I go into Dr. Doom, ooh, that seemed way too late for some reason. I don't know if this is going to collide. Okay, no, it totally didn't. Ryu didn't stand a chance. I don't know why I did not DHC earlier. I think I was waiting much too long, or the internet latency. But Chris takes a very extended crouching light into crouching heavy, and Dr. Doom is doing some business in the corner. I just got deja vu. Throw Strider up for a reset, but it doesn't work. However, it keeps Chris in the same position, and he falls for the overhead jump in. And once again, we get some deja vu. I've never seen this Doom combo before. Never! I swear to God, it's brand new. Falls prey to the plasma beam in the end, and he blocks the mix-up with the Iron Man assist at the start. I'm still trying to learn how to make that assist really effective, and I think it actually might be really good. But wow, he realizes that I was blocking all of his incoming, waiting for the X-Factor to happen, and he just walks up and chucks Doom across the screen, predicts the roll-in, gets him in a combo again, and this should do it, and he still has X-Factor and a full Captain America, so this is still some very scary stuff. Iron Man blocks the incoming shield blast, but, oh, that's right, it does not recover, and he does not choose to use X-Factor, and I can't even tell you why I didn't finish that combo. The internet and fighting games, who knows at this point. But now characters are sitting full screen waiting to make their approach. Captain America still sitting on full X Factor along with myself. Who's going to pop it first? I think if anything, I would use mine in retaliation to him using his, so it'd make me safe. But we'll see what happens. He's trying to be careful with the shield blast, and he's using the shield blasts as moments to walk up and grab, if you notice what was happening there. Cancel into Iron Avenger, but it doesn't even matter, and the game is over. So in this fight, I think the biggest factor was that Chris got killed really fast. Essentially, Chris got hit with a mix-up at the start, leading into a Corner Doom Deja Vu combo, and in the middle of that, I used Strider to somewhat cause a reset. Even though it doesn't reset how I wanted it to, which is normally a hard knockdown, it allowed me to box jump in with Doom and get the overhead for another completely huge damaging corner combo with Doom and a totally dead second character, leaving Captain America all alone at the end. Next game going up against a Wesker, Taskmaster, and Sentinel. Wesker on point is always something to be really terrified about, especially when I have a character like Iron Man, but I'm able to get in with a couple of crouching lights, switch into the his flying jumping overhead, and wow, pick up Wesker right at the end. And wow, like how is he dead? I don't even understand. I think I got Doom to come out with the Sphere Flame on accident from hitting the buttons too fast for the super. But once again, me trying to use that incoming Iron Man assist for characters as a mix-up, and it worked there, but I didn't realize how to juggle. Now, Taskmaster's looking for an opportunity to hit me with a super or something along those lines. Smartly blocks the overhead, and I'm still trying to make that spacing for a clean approach, and there it is. He perfectly jumps in time and is able to throw out the Sentinel drones, and oh my gosh, with an X Factor, that was actually a really smart X Factor, at least right now it seems to be so. To throw it out, confirm off one super and go into the other. OTG bombs, and I think I might have been able to pick up, especially considering I had X Factor, but I'm not too sure. I'm not that great with Iron Man yet. Uses the invincible hard drive and is unable to pick up afterwards, and I have no idea why I went into super. Whoa, Sentinel's standing medium went right through Iron Man. That was a little nuts. Does a Tiger Knee into hard drive again, some pretty good execution, and Iron Man is now down due to a missed super and a bad judgment call. Now Strider's just trying to get out of the corner, does so, puts himself back in the corner, don't know what the hell is going on now, but is able to pick up Taskmaster. Maybe if I get a full combo off this? No, of course not. That thing is ridiculously hard to do online sometimes. Taskmaster also misses his combo, so now we're in a situation where Strider has to make an approach with making things safe, but he gets an overhead with the teleport and goes straight into Legion for easy damage. Could have gotten a little bit more. Wow, teleport behind, and whoa, okay, so it looks like the hitbox of that move is actually somewhat behind Taskmaster as well, and allowed him to DHC into Sentinel. That was a little crazy. And the deciding factor in this match, I believe, was, like I was saying earlier, his extremely smart use of X Factor in that situation. He hit confirmed at a full screen distance with Taskmaster's hyper, went into Sentinel drone super, and then X Factored right through to finish him off with a combo, and that essentially messed up a lot of the team synergy and left Iron Man all alone. So it was a good call on his part, and that game totally was his. Our next game going up against a really unique team of Tron, Arthur, and Akuma. I fought against this guy a few times. I'm not too sure if he was in the last episode or the last couple weeks of the Online Warrior, but if I didn't get the match recorded, this guy actually had a really unique way of using Arthur, and he uses Arthur as an anchor character using level 3, and he saves all of his meter kind of like a phoenix. It's some pretty cool stuff, and I'm not too sure if I win or lose this game. However, I will give this guy props. I think we traded a few games, and he had a massive win streak. I think he's on like a 16 win streak right here, so this is some pretty impressive stuff. However, I do not want Tron to get in. She's approaching with jumping, box jump in with heavy, and I want to do everything but prevent her from getting in. Somehow barely get her with the proton cannon off the repulsor blast, and I'm afraid to call assists because she'll come in and do, well, stuff like that. I can't even believe I predicted it happening. So now she's going to follow up with a huge combo. Akuma comes in. Iron Man somehow does not hit confirm off of that stuff, showing how bogus Iron Man can be at times. Now Doom is back in, but he was bleeding hard, and he lost all of that health because I brought the assist out at the worst possible time. And now Tron is about to die, but with this, I think these finger lasers should do some pretty decent damage. I think I might have done finger lasers instead of Sphere Flame because I was anticipating Arthur to be as an assist, and I would have hit confirmed that X-Factored and killed Arthur as soon as possible, but it didn't happen. Theory Fighter 2000. Now Doom is in the air trying to make space against Akuma, do an unsafe finger laser into foot dive, and he recovers incorrectly in the corner. Strider comes in, X-Factor's in the air, throws out a bird, teleports behind it, putting some pressure on Doom, hits Arthur, and now Akuma's on a roll, but he chose not to X-Factor right there. I'm not too sure why. but this gives an opportunity for Strider to kill Akuma. Maybe he's saving his X Factor for his game plan, which is 5 levels of Arthur. And here we go. Here, let's see if he gets an opportunity. Strider's about to run out of X Factor, but the combo drops. And now I'm ready and prepared for the fact that he's going to go into the full screen level 3. And now I got to be really careful with Strider. Well, if you see that situation right there, Strider did the teleport kick drop down, and even though it hit Arthur, there's not enough time for me to hit confirm into a combo because Arthur's X-Factored, and hit stun and block stun act differently in X-Factor. Some pretty interesting stuff. Throw out a cat, teleport behind, and I'm able to grab him on the way down. So a really close game and some very impressive stuff with a interesting team that you don't see too often. Now, like I was saying earlier, there was this moment where Akuma actually hit Strider and had an opportunity to juggle him X-Factor into a combo off of that Hurricane Kick, but he chose not to because he was sticking to his game plan that Arthur was going to take the whole thing. But I think even if you get the chance and you touch a character and you have the opportunity to kill him, you should abandon your game plan momentarily for what's happening in that situation. And that would have been X-Factor Akuma going to an easy hyper in the air, and Strider would have been game over. Our next match going up against a similar opponent as before. Once again, we're looking at Wesker, Taskmaster, and Sentinel on the end. Loving those drones, and there they are, preventing my attack. Now, I'm going to use Strider to possibly try to get Wesker down, because what I'm going to try to do with Iron Man is to use his Unibeam to tag Sentinel, to prevent Sentinel from getting the drones out and Wesker making an approach. At least that's what I hope I do. That's what I think I would do right here. Now, I'm trying to keep in the air as long as possible because it's harder for Wesker to get me out of the air if I'm doing things like hidden missiles and stuff like that, and it eventually frustrates him and brings his health down slowly instead of one big burst, and, well, there you go. Essentially, Wesker took a lot of little hits until he died. Now, I get Taskmaster on a quick combo, but I have no idea how to regular jump juggle with Iron Man, so who knows how that goes. Go straight into Proton Cannon, can't really DHC much into Dr. Doom, so you're gonna have to just deal with it. Rapid fire, crouching L, don't get very much out of it, but I think that was a big mistake. I think the plan was to go for a Unibeam to poke Taskmaster out of the super, but I accidentally got a shoulder bombs, I forget what they're called right now. Pick Sentinel, I'll go straight into the Iron Avenger, and this should absolutely kill the giant robot with another smaller giant robot. Makes sense? Sentinel's now down, and he's left with Taskmaster and level 3 X-Factor, and I still have all 3 of my characters go straight into a Repulsor Blast. And I think you can actually punish Repulsor Blast. Maybe not, I'm actually not entirely sure. But he has X-Factor and goes into the Shield Super, and this should possibly do it. Go right up and down. Wow, that's very odd how that did not hit, but I was able to recover it in the end. Super weird. So this match, I think, was lost in the very end. I think he didn't realize that he had already popped X-Factor by the end of the match, or it was a complete error on his part, but he still could have completely won this one using Taskmaster and level 3, but he went into the shield blocking counter super and had nothing to do with it at the very end, so that either was an executional error or just an oversight on his part. And our Online Warrior clip of the week is brought to us by Lord Fluffy, and he's going up against what appears to be Dr. Doom, Wesker, and a Virgil team. Some very scary stuff. He is using Skrull, Wesker, and Zero. That was some pretty impressive blocking right at the start. Already very impressed with some of the stuff Fluffy is bringing to the table. Picks him up again with Wesker, slams him down to the ground, and busts out some Inferno! Lights him on fire, and here comes some Skittles to finish up the match. This sticky candy finishing up a match. Throws down a mix-up with Zero, but does not do anything. Wesker straight palms him into the air. Now Zero's going to go for some teleport mix-ups and shenanigans. Doom's Beam keeping him out. Wesker trying to keep the little robot away as far as possible. But Zero's going to find his way in. That is what he does in this game. No matter what, he will find a way in. Brings Wesker into the air. Here comes his Wesker assist, popping him back up. Slams him down to the ground and goes straight into some more Skittles. And Albert is tasting the rainbow. Wesker goes straight into a super off of a super jump and tags Zero right mid-screen. That'll take off half health, while Doom's Sphere Flame actually does a pretty decent amount because the very end doesn't scale very hard. Now Doom is doing a good job at keeping Zero away, but he foot dives full screen, and when you foot dive into the corner from a forward direction, you actually stop your momentum and you fall down, leaving you completely vulnerable. That's some scary stuff for Doom players, is that if you're foot diving to a corner, cancel into flight or something, because if you do that, you're going to leave yourself totally open at the bottom. Doom misses a foot dive, and Skrull slams him to the ground, saying, "Stop foot diving." Wesker cleverly jumps right over the command grab, but not a second time. And Taskmaster should probably make quick work of Wesker here using X Factor, at least I would think. Pops him up into the air, brings him, oh wow, the too much hit stun scaling off of the multiple hit portion of the super. And just like that, it looks like Skrull is being tossed up and down. Did I call him Taskmaster before? I might have. Wesker is currently taking this and at a pretty decent advantage right here. However, Zero gets a quick combo, is throwing Wesker into the air, brings him back down. I don't think there's much else he can do from here. He has 2 leaders and an X Factor, and I think we're going to get a double rainbow. Double rainbow power! And he takes the game. So some really solid stuff, some good stuff using Wesker and Zero as far as picking up and extending combos, and Super Skrull with some very solid defense at the start. And like I was mentioning earlier with that Doom foot dive thing in the corner, I think that's what ended up really killing this guy, because Doom was at full health and he ended up doing that, which lodges him in the corner and he falls down unable to block, and Zero just picked him up for a full gigantic combo, and 1 DHC later, the dude was dead. So I think Doom was a pretty big factor on this guy's team, besides the fact that he had a level 3 X Factor Wesker, but you crippled his team by doing so. If you'd like to send in your gameplay submissions for a later episode of The Online Warrior, you can do so by following the on-screen display right now and titling it Online Warrior Submission with your username. I'll do my best to add a full game commentary and a post-game analysis of what made you win the fight or lose. So until then, thank you all very much for watching another episode of The Online Warrior. If you enjoyed this full episode of almost nothing but gameplay and no discussions at all, please leave a thumbs up. As always, this has been Maximilian, and I'll see you guys next time.